bullshit. We never go in no neighborhoods and take people out. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't condone violence, but you can understand why emotions were running high. That was the loved one of a victim of the Buffalo mass shooting in May, lunging toward convicted killer Payton Gendron in court earlier today. And this headline right here, gunman sentenced to life in prison for Buffalo massacre of Black victims. The gunman who killed 10 Black people in a shooting rampage at a Buffalo supermarket in May was sentenced Wednesday to life in prison without the possibility of parole at an emotional hearing during which he faced recriminations and anger from the victims' families. Payton Gendron, 19, who is white, planned the attack for months, targeting the Tops-friendly markets in a predominantly Black neighborhood of Buffalo, according to his online writings, which cited white supremacist conspiracy theories and anti-Semitic rants. Further, Erie County Court Judge Susan Egan delivered the sentence, denouncing the history of white supremacy in the United States. Quote, "Let ours be the generation to put a stop to it," end quote. She said, "We can do better, we must do better." So that is the judge who handed down the sentence saying we got to do better and we must do better. And then some thoughts from Janae Nelson, and she is the president and executive director counsel of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. And she sums up this tragedy this way: so much pain and tragedy. If only we put as much energy into preventing as opposed to punishing violence, especially white supremacist hate, we would all be better off. Prayers up to the community of Buffalo as they relive this horror and wishing them healing as they continue to mourn. And Jackson, I mean, that's exactly how I feel. I mean, Madam President put that so succinctly and so powerfully. But as we were watching the footage of the relative trying to lunge at the murderer, I mean, certainly we can understand why emotions were running high in that courtroom today, even though justice was definitely served today.
Well, I think that one of the most unfortunate things about human nature is how we just don't learn from the past. How easy it is to not learn from the past. And I say that for a variety of reasons. One, the failure for the federal government to pass any type of meaningful gun legislation is really the crux of this issue in terms of preventing people from being able to get their hands on weapons and doing things like this. Even so far as letting people with mental health issues still get their hands on weapons. And then obviously using the excuse that any type of legislation that's passed, well, we already crossed that bridge. So it makes it harder to pass anything else. But also, people who commit these types of acts in Tops or whether they're, in a Walmart or anything similar, it's like when you read their manifestos, they always think that they're going to make some type of lasting mark on society or some type of lasting influence. But that never happens. So it's just, that's really another frustrating thing, because it's like, your evil crusade that you're going against, you have all the evidence in the world that people who have done this before you, their names don't last. Their names don't reach some type of glorification status in society. And now you're going to be in prison for the rest of your life. So it just, every way you look at it, it's just a horrible waste of life where nothing good comes out on the other side.
Yeah, it really is. And then for the relatives of the victims, they will never get that time back with their loved ones, even if they are happy with the verdict. I know they would much rather have their loved ones here with them.